Hello and welcome to Monday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic. And after yesterday, where we did a 100% rated puzzle by Itrio, we have that delight again today in the form of Patient Zeros by GDC. Now, I think this is a brand new puzzle, but overnight we've got about 7 recommendations insisting we take a look at this. It's got a very cool rule set about, well, it's actually quite an unpleasant rule set in which people are eating each other's brains, and there's a virus, and there are infected digits or infected patients that go around infecting other cells in the grid. It sounds fascinating, actually. And I am looking forward to having a go at it. GDC is one of the best constructors in the world. I mean, we can just say that straightforwardly. And when GDC comes up with a 100% rated puzzle, really, it's beholden upon us to have a look at it as soon as possible. So I am looking forward to having a go at this. And well, I'll read the rules to you in a moment or two's time. Now, what else can I tell you about? I had a lovely time yesterday. Thanks very much to Christian at the Royal Albert Hall who helped out with my father's birthday treat. We went and we watched Back to the Future with the sort of live audience, and it was really good. I've not seen the film for, well, must 2 decades probably, and I'd forgotten just how good it is. It really is fantastic, and the music being live, it really does make a difference. So I'd definitely recommend it if you've not been. I'd never been to something like that before, and I really did enjoy it, and so did my father. And thank you very much to all those of you who dropped a comment on yesterday's video wishing him happy birthday. I pointed him in the direction of the comments, and I think he was tickled pink. So thank you. Now, what else can I tell you about today? We've drawn the winner. Oh, Maverick's about to fly over. That's remarkably quick. 2 minutes 6 seconds today. Sorry, there's going to be a little bit of aeroplane noise as Maverick buzzes past this airplane tower. There's not a lot I can do about it, but he does enjoy it. Tonight, 10 p.m. UK time. Love to have your company. Mark and I are going back to the Blueprints mansion after the most extraordinary evening in that mansion last week. So I hope that what we did last week will bear some fruit. You never know with Blueprints what's going to happen, because of course each time you go in the mansion it's a totally new experience. But we're fingers crossed that something cool will happen. So we'd love to have your company if you're around. I'll try and remember to put a link on the screen. Now, the winner. We have drawn the winner. I still got it here. I might still have it, actually. Is it? Oh, I've got the this was the sort of the counter that we had for how many solves. Let's see actually if that has evolved. I mean, it's incredible. Well over 1,000 people. But Mark, who's responsible for drawing the winner, because he has some clever software he runs it through that picks out a name at random. So I don't know if all of the 1,183 were included, because he would have had a cut-off on the closing date, which was the 20th. But I can tell you, drum roll please, that the winner is Anna. Now, Anna, I think on Patreon you might go by Lucky Anna or even Lady Fortune. I don't want to reveal your surname, as you do have a pseudonym. So some people, obviously, they try and be private in their sort of online presence. So I do have a surname, but I'm not going to say it in case I'm revealing something I shouldn't. But Anna, you have won, and hopefully you know you're the Anna that's won. And I mean, I suppose I could say it looks a Scandinavian name, maybe. I could be wrong. Hopefully I've narrowed it down. So if you are an Anna and you're watching this, you can detect that you have won, and I will email you very soon and invite you to the to the chance, but not the obligation, to try and make a Sudoku video with me where we'll solve a puzzle together. So I hope that might be something you would enjoy, and I look forward to it, and I'll keep my fingers crossed that you're up for it. So, Anna, very well done. Congratulations. And of course, it's not long now before our next competition starts, which is on the 1st of November. So if you'd like to be involved in that, I do recommend it. Join us on Patreon over there whenever you can. That's all. Well, it's not all the news. I've got birthdays to do. So, I mean, that They are important, as we've already discussed. So let's do the birthdays. Cara, you've turned 23. I think today, I'm not certain, because your boyfriend Ben wrote in and was a trifle mysterious about the actual date of your birthday, but I think it might be today. But I'm to wish you congratulations upon, I think you've just got your master's degree as well. So a busy time and a successful time, it sounds like. And I know that you watch every night. So Cara, thank you so much for doing that. I hope you have a brilliant birthday today, probably. And I hope the chocolate cake is magnificent and exceptionally well iced. Next, Michael. Michael, it's your birthday today. You've turned 36. And I know this because your wife, Tatiana, I love that name, Tatiana, wrote in. And I think the two of you got married, almost a year ago, on I think the 1st of November last year in Georgia. And you're just coming up, obviously, then for your first anniversary. And you might be seeing Mark and I next Sunday. Well, this coming Sunday, indeed, on the 2nd of November, just after your wedding anniversary, because we're doing this live edition at Stratford-upon-Avon Literary Festival. So I look forward to meeting you both then. I think carrot cake is planned today. I can get on board with carrot cake. It's not obviously quite as good as chocolate cake, but providing it's properly iced, carrot cake can also be delicious. Yeah, many happy returns, Michael. And I think there probably are a couple of tickets left if you do want to come and join us in Stratford. There's the sort of blurby thing there. 10 a.m. next Sunday morning. So if you do want to get involved, there should be a link under the video to that. And then finally, birthday for today, Will. Will, you've turned 31 today. And I know this because your wife, Kayla, wrote to us, telling us, saying you're the smartest man she's ever met, and also the most amazing father to your 1-year-old son, and she loves you so much. So, Will, I think that's rather a brilliant message to get on your birthday. I hope the birthday continues to be brilliant, has been brilliant, and the chocolate cake is festively iced. Many happy returns. Now, let's have a go. Patient Zeros by GDC. This has got 4 stars out of 5 for difficulty, and I snipped from Logic Masters. It's not in the right place, but an example grid. So hopefully that will help us to understand what's going on. So these are the rules. We have got Dr. Norma L. Dokes. Dr. Norma L. Dokes, a virus is spreading and causes people to eat each other's brains. Please perform some measurements in the village and bring the results to the hospital. We need to see how severe the spread is, but be careful, it is highly contagious. Norma L. Dokes then says, normal Sudoku rules apply. Right, okay, and I think I vaguely see what's going on there. So I think what GDC has done is look at the words normal Sudoku rules and chop letters out of them to come up with this lady's name, Norma L. Normal Sudoku rules. Just let me check what's missing. S-U-U-R-U-L. Sural. I don't know if there might be a trick going on there, but I'm not sure. Anyway, normal Sudoku rules apply. So we've got to put the digits 1 to 9, once each in every row, column and box. Then it says infections. Each digit matching its box number is a patient 0. Each row and column contains a patient 0. Patient zeros are infected. Infected cells infect every orthogonally adjacent cell. I better go to this to explain this. Infected cells infect every orthogonally adjacent cell with a smaller digit. Infections keep spreading until no infected cell has a smaller, uninfected orthogonal neighbour. I scrolled a lot there. There's actually quite a few rules here. Every infected cell can be traced back to 1 or more patient zeros. Okay, so let's think about that in the context of this box. So So, right, so the boxes are numbered. I might actually add this to the rules, assuming I can solve the puzzle, but boxes in Sudoku are sort of traditionally numbered in normal reading order. So this is box 1, this is box 2, box 3, box 4, box 5, box 6, box 7, box 8, box 9. So, in this box, box 5 will be patient, sorry, the digit 5 will be patient 0, because this is box 5. So let's put 5 in. Now, what does that mean? Okay, so we then look at all 4 orthogonal neighbours. So we look at these cells, and we say, okay, so this is an infection. This 5 is infected, and if any of these digits are lower than 5, they also become infected. So if that was a 4, that would be infected. And then, not only would it be infected, but it could infect these ones. You'd then have to test those ones to see whether these are also then lower than 4 in order to infect those. It's weird. What a weird rule. Okay, let me just check I've fully comprehended that. Okay, so there's one of these in each row and column. And they keep spreading. I've understood that. And every infected cell can be traced back to 1 or more patient zeros. Okay. Then we have to draw a 1 cell wide path from the doctor to the hospital. Okay. The path only moves orthogonally, so that means it moves in a cardinal direction, north, south, east, or west. It couldn't go like that, because that would be these 2 cells are not orthogonally connected. They touch one another, but only at a point, and that's not sufficient for orthogonal connection. The path only moves orthogonally, may not touch itself, not even diagonally, so we can't have a path. What could we do? We can't have a path that looks like that, because this path touches itself at a point here, diagonally, and that's not allowed. And the path may not contain infected cells. Okay, well that makes sense, doesn't it? And then we've got microscopes. There's loads of microscopes. Microscopes are on the path and count the number of infected cells in the up to 9 surrounding cells. So whatever this is, so this is not infected. This one. That's one of the things about microscopes. But what we would do is we would then count how many infected cells there were surrounding the microscope, and however many there are, we write that number into the microscope. And then this one is only going to count those ones, because obviously it doesn't see 3 cells above it, because it's on the edge of the grid. And there's one more rule, which is Kropke tablets. Kropke tablets join consecutive uninfected digits. So these two. Right, so these 2 are uninfected. So let's make that a 2. And they're consecutive. So this is either, if this was 2, this would either be 1 or 3 to be a consecutive pair. And they are... Oh, well, hang on. Let's go back and have a look at this picture. So where is the hospital? There. So we're going from here. Where's to the doctor who's here? Oh, so right. So the green is the path. Oh, is the green the path? There's path cells up here that are green. I don't know. No, I think the path is the line. So what are the... Oh, so the infected cells are the red cells. Ah, so the yellow... No, okay. So the way this works is the red cells are patient zeros, and they have infected the yellow cells. So if we look at the 6 here, this 6, you can see it's bigger than every orthogonal neighbour. So it converted all these to being infected. And then this 3 infects the 1. And the 2 is... this 2 is infected by the 5. I see that. Okay. I mean, I think... Oh, and hang on, let's just check a microscope. How does that work? That's got a 1 in it. Yeah, because there's one red or yellow cell in its vicinity. So if we look at this one, and you're looking then at these cells, and you're counting how many red or yellow cells there are. So let's do a more difficult one. This microscope here is looking at how many red or yellow cells there are in that 3 by 3, and you can see there are 2, and that's why it contains a 2. Golly, it's actually quite complicated, but do have a go. It's meant to be brilliant. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual, but now I get to play. Let's get cracking. So, okay, now of course I have to recapitulate the rules in order to sort of understand. The microscopes were on the path, weren't they? Or have I said that wrong? Yeah, microscopes are on the path. So we need to have a colour for the path. And I'm going to say the colour is going to be purple. There, I've said it. Okay, now the nurse or the doctor must be on the path. Norma is on the path. The hospital is on the path. So this is the broad parameters of the path. Now it's a path. So if it goes into the corner, it can't stay in the corner. The path must turn. Now this now can't be on the path because the path would touch itself. So those two must be on the path. Oh, bobbins, I'm not going to see... I can't see anything else obvious here. Which way do we go from there? We could... Sorry, I now stopped talking. I'm just wondering if it is possible to go south from here. It looks tricky, because I don't know how you'd ever pick up this. Yeah, I think there is something going on with this. I'm not sure about this, but that cell has to be on the path. So just imagine that the path goes south. Well then, because the path is an orthogonal series of movements, even once it touches a cell diagonally, it's going to have to bring this cell onto the path immediately, because otherwise, if say the path went there, this cell has touched the path and it's not allowed to. So the path is broadly going to go, it's going to do something like this. But then we can never get to this cell. Because to get to this cell, you have to go into the cell, and then you've got to turn and come out again somehow without touching yourself. You can't do it. So I don't think the way that we get... Yeah, so actually, not only can we not go south from this cell, I'm going to try and... We can't go west either. Because if we did try and go west, how do you get to this cell and then get out and get to Norma? You can't get out. You could get to the cell, but you couldn't get out again. So this cell is picked up either directly or like that. So this cell is not part of the path. Yeah, it's going to be tricky to notate this. Because I want to have a colour for infections. And I think, well, my reading of the rules is that it's not true to say every cell that is not on the path is infected. So I can't just sort of colour this cell some arbitrary other colour until I know whether it's infected or not. Now, let me just... okay, so we're going to come up, we're going to pick this cell up, and then we're going to have to get out of the box. So we're going to have to do this. That's a forced segment now. Again, that means this cell's not on the path. And what does a microscope mean? There was a number component, wasn't there? On the path, and count the number of infected cells in the up to 9 cells. So this one can have... Well, it can't have 4 infected cells, because I've got to connect this up. So it could have a maximum of 3. So that is a 1 or a 3. It can't be 2 or 4 by Sudoku. If it was 3, we couldn't do this. We'd have to do this for the path, and those 3 would be infected. I mean, for example, I know these aren't on the path now, don't I? Because that would make NORMA touch the path, or the path branch. This is the start of the path. This is the end of the path. I'm not getting this quite yet. I need to check the rules again. So hang on. So each digit matching its box number, right? So box 1. Well, box 1 is that's not going to be a big. Oh no, right. We don't start with box 1. Okay, so my thought process there went, box 1 has got an infected 1 in it. But that 1 can't infect anything else because 1 is the smallest Sudoku digit. So my brain then went, oh, well, that means 9 is going to be super infectious. It's going to infect everything. So in this box, there is a 9 that's the infected digit, it's patient 0, and it's going to infect everything around it. But it can't infect the path, can it? So if we were to put 9 in any of those cells, then we've got a big problem. If this was a 9, that's infected, but the path is not infected. So none of these can be 9, and nothing adjacent to the path can be 9, and that's 9, and that is patient 0. That's the first infection that we've discovered. So we'll use a revolting colour for infection. Actually, people don't like me using black. Maybe I'll use green. Green's a very infected colour. That's particularly pustulant and pestilent, isn't it? So we're going to have green as the infection, and all those are now infected, I think. I mean, these can't be bigger than 9, so they're all infected. Yeah, so what do I put in the corner? Not a 3, unfortunately. There isn't a 3 in the corner, but I think that what we can't do, I can't put 0 here. 0 is not a valid digit. So I'm actually, I should have started here, I think. If you just count how many infected cells it's possible to put in that 2 by 2, that's all we're counting. So actually the corner could have only been a 4 at maximum. But now 3 of those digits are on the path. So that is infected. And this is a 1. And now the path has to go further. There we go. And now, oh, this is lovely. So now we get that one, but that can't be a dead end, so we must turn. So now all these 3 are not on the path. And we can very nearly count this digit, because we're counting the green cells in that 3 by 3, and there are 3 there, and that could be green. So it's 3 or 4. This one is less clear, isn't it? We don't know anything about the greenliness, how far the pestilence and the pustulence has exploded from this 9, because it could go miles. I mean, if that was an 8, oh no, well no, that can't be 8. Oh, I see. Yeah, right. So actually this digit, which is a pustulence and a pestilence, can't infect this digit, so it must be lower than this digit. So that's a 1, 2 or a 3, I'm going to claim. If I've and the same is true here. In fact, that can't be 1, so that's got to be 2 or 3. If it was 4, this would be 3, and it should infect it, and it's not allowed to. I mean, I think that makes sense. So you've almost got a sort of 1, 2, 3, 4 thing going on in column 8. This, I'm going to struggle. Whenever I get given black digits in Sudoku, my brain doesn't see them because I so rarely get given them. It's sort of filtered them out. It's that part of my brain has eaten itself. Oh dear. Okay, so what do we do now? Do we think about 8 in this box? I think it's going to be big digits that we have to focus on. They are going to be by far the most inhibiting Oh, actually, hang on. Here is another point that yeah, one of the things about a puzzle like this is you have to allow your brain the chance to comprehend the rules, because there are a lot of rules, and it's very easy to miss some. Even though I've read the rules twice now, because I skim read them before I turned on the webcam, but still you don't pick things up. Now this 9 is patient 0, isn't it, for this box? And it said that there's only one patient 0 in each row. So there is no, so the 8 in this box is not allowed to be in those cells. We should mark this actually. Let's mark it. So that's a patient 0. So, oh no, I've got it. It's easy. I can do this box. I hadn't realised this at all, as you've all been shouting at me. But look, I can do something. I can do a pencil mark in this box, because 8, well, 8 has to be not in the, it's a circle digit, so it's patient 0, so in theory it's in one of those. But oh no, it's not there, is it? Because that's an uninfected digit. Yeah, patient 0 is definitely infected. Definitely. So that can't be infected. I'm not sure, you know, if I make that an infection, that patient 0, I think I have to have 2 9s in this box. This might be wrong, but my reading of the, imagine that was 8. It's a green digit, therefore it's the infected digit, and it would be infected. Now, in order for this digit to not be infected by an 8, it has to be a 9, doesn't it, to be bigger than it? But now the path here, well, the path would have to go there, actually, because it can't get out this way. But it's clear one of those 2 cells needs to be path, and would also, therefore, need to be bigger than 8. So we get 2 9s in the box. That won't work. So this is not... So 8 is in one of these 2. Now, doesn't that mean that that has to be 9? This might be nonsense, but I think it's right. Whichever one of these is the pestilent 8, for this not to be converted to being an infected digit, it has to be bigger. And well, now if this is the 8, the path is going to do this, and this is also going to have to be a 9, so that doesn't work. So this has got to be 8. It is fully pestilent and another patient 0, even though it's really close to this patient 0. The path has to go there. Now the path can't go here now, because that would then have to be a 9. So the path goes there. This is brilliant. It's really cool. Now, this digit is infected, because the only way it's not infected is if it's a 9, and it's not a 9, so that is an infection. I don't know what that means for the microscope here. Maverick's doing another pass. 9 by Sudoku is in one of those 3. There must be a 7 by Sudoku on patient 0s in one of those cells. Actually, I know where that is, or I don't know exactly where it is, but it can't be on the uninfected dot, can it? So 7 is naughty and in one of these 2 cells. And then, well, whatever this digit is, this must be bigger than it. But that could be a 1, maybe. Okay, I'm just going to quickly go back here because I spotted something up here. The 3 in box 3 is infected. And that can't be a 3 then, because that's definitely on the path. So that needs to be a 1. Which means 1 is in one of these 3. But Can one... No, one can't be on the microscope, because then this will be bigger than it and it should have infected it. Now, also... Oh, bobbins. I was hoping that was going to be a 3, because then we would have known how the path was going to go. But now what we know is only one of those is actually green. I don't know what that means. Something. I mean, the infected digit can't be in the same column as another patient 0. So, I mean, the patient 0 digit in box 3. It can't be... It's got to be in one of those, I think. But it can't be orthogonally... No, it can't be orthogonally adjacent to the microscope, because it would convert it into being an infection. So the 3 is there, and that tells me... This is the most weird deduction. That tells me where 6 goes in box 6. Because by Sudoku on the nonsenses, i.e. the patient 0s, I've got to have one of these 3 cells as a naughty 6, and it can't be on the path. So that, well, actually, that's a 6. It's naughty, it's infected, and that means both of these are massive, because they've got to be bigger than 6 in order to not be infected. Okay. Oh, I don't know what that means. That's so distressing. I think that means something very profound, but my brain isn't telling me what it is. Where's 5 in box 5 then? It can't be on the uninfected dot, so it's in one of those cells. I don't think we know which, do we? 4? What about 4 then in box 4? But that's got to be... Can't be in a row, same row as the 6. So the 4 is in one of those cells. Oh, and it can't be there, because this is uninfected. So patient 0 in box... Yeah, so patient 0 in box 4 is in one of 2 cells next to the microscope, which cannot be infected. So it's bigger than 4, definitely. So it's at least 5. I'm going to put... Well, hang on, but this is then... This microscope is counting... Hang on. Yeah, this microscope is counting green cells in that 3x3. So it definitely isn't 8 or 9. But also the path. The path has to go... It has to go somewhere from this cell. So it can't be 7 either. So this is 5 or 6, and a lot of the real estate in that little C heptomino there is green. Oh, and hang on, but that one isn't. So, that's it, isn't it? Yeah, okay. How could this be a 6? Because I think, given this cannot be infected because of the rule about the Kropke dot, all of those would be infected, and how would the path develop? It's stuck in a cul-de-sac of infection, and we don't want to do that to it. So that is a 5, which means this is not a 5, which means the infection... Oh, this is so brilliant. Look at this. The patient 0 in box 5 is one of these 5s now, because it can't be that cell. That means the patient 0 in row 5 is in one of these 3 cells. It can't be in this cell. And it is a 4 because this is box 4. So it is there. So that's a 4. It's infected. It's patient 0. Okay, I don't know what that does, but it's probably doing something. I know what it does. I know exactly what it does. It places 7 in box 7, because 7 can't be here now, or we'd have 2 patient 0s in the same column. So this is 7. I tell you what this is. This is fun. This is actually fun to solve, which I sort of... I mean, I love solving puzzles, as you know. If you've ever watched the channel, you know I love solving puzzles. But some puzzles, you know, that they astound you with their logic, and that's what gives you the shots of adrenaline and the epiphanies. But this is just... it's very enjoyable so far. Now, there must be an infected 1 in one of these 2 cells. And that's not going to cause any sort of cancerous infection, is it? Because the 1 is just going to die out. Because it will be smaller than all its neighbours. So the 2... Oh, nearly. Well, yeah, this is okay. So now I haven't put an infection, patient 0 into row 1. And it's not here, and it's not here, because I've got this 3 pencil mark. So the 2 must be in one of those cells. And that's the patient 0 for this box. So 2 by Sudoku is in one of those 3 cells. I feel like I'm jumping around a bit, and this is bad now, because I actually do feel like I might be about to get stuck. Everything so far has been lovely in the sense I've sort of known or felt roughly where to go. But now, where is the natural place to go for your next digit? I don't know. I don't know. Come on, Simon. Yeah, no, that's not true. What I was about to say is just not true, so I'm not even going to articulate it. Okay. So, I don't know. It could be microscopes. I've not thought terribly hard about those. I mean, the most interesting microscope is that one, isn't it? So, that's saying... Yes, no, oh no, no, be very careful, Simon. Yeah, no, hang on. Yes, I think this might be placing 3 in this box. Let me try and explain that. I have to get an infection into exactly one of these cells. Now, I could have a patient 0 as one of the infected cells, and I think that might be what we have to do. Because imagine this wasn't a patient 0 and the 3 went here. Well, this 3 is totally useless now at infecting anything in this box. Because to infect something, it's got to be next to a 2 or a 1, and this cell can't be a 1 or a 2. So that doesn't get infected. Now that means the only way of getting an infection into one of these cells is going to be via this digit or some other digit in the grid that's going to have to infect this and then infect one of these from this cell. Well, that's a 2, and it can't infect a 1. So I don't think that can be right. I think that must be the 3. That is the infection that this one sees. So that is, it's green, it's infected. Yeah, and that is useful. Because the reason that's useful is it tells us how the path moves. So the path now doesn't do this, it goes straight. Now I say that, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Does that do more than that somehow? I know this is not... Maybe I've got to have a colour for not... definitively not infected. Now, I don't think this cell can ever be infected. Because the only way of getting it to be infected is if this 2 infects it. but this can't be a 1. So I think I'm going to make that lime green to mean not infected. That's lime green, because the 3 cannot infect it. The 3 cannot infect this. But could the... you see, that's tricky. I think the 6 could infect this. If this went 6, 5, 4, then the 4 would be infected. Yeah, okay. So I'm not sure that is how we're going to look at this. Right. Oh, nearly. 4 is very restricted in box 3. Because if 4... No, it's not, actually. Because this isn't infected, it's not restricted. No, I'm wrong. It's got 3 possible positions. Okay, so I don't know what to do with that. I think this 2 might end up being infected. I think it's going to get infected by the 6. But I could be wrong about that. Right, so what do you think we'd look at next? I haven't got a clue. Where is there an obvious place? I haven't thought about this cell, but I mean, I really... Or is it some sort of point about... Oh yeah, there is a point. Right, I hadn't seen this, but this is going to matter. Oh, this could matter a lot. Okay, the hospital is the end of the path. So I can't send the path here, because it would then turn, but the path would have touched itself. So that cell is not on the path, and the path goes there. Now I don't think, unfortunately, that tells me about the infection status of this. But okay, but what it does do, yeah, we've now got to be very careful, because the path starts by moving west, doesn't it? So this cannot go to this cell. And if it went to this cell, it would then again touch this cell diagonally, which it cannot do. So the only place that this can go is upwards. And now it can't go west because it would touch the start of the path. It can't go east because it would touch itself. And it goes north. And there, that's got to be important. So it now looks like it's very difficult to me. I mean, I'm not saying this is impossible, but it looks hard for the path to go into box 1 at all, because it's going to have to do a big old loop, isn't it? It might be able to do that, but... Right, so what does this mean, though? The answer to that is who knows. So what's this digit? This is counting the number of green cells in its 3x3 vicinity. Now, all of these could be infected. Probably. Oh, actually, no, that can't be infected. Hang on, this is confusing. No, that can't be infected. So 1, 2, 3 is the maximum, but it can't be a 3. Because of Sudoku. So I think that's a 1 or a 2. If that's infected, that's infected, and that's infected. Right. Also, this microscope, it can't have as much infection as I would have thought it was thinking about at one point. So it's not a 2. It's definitively not a 2 because of the given. And it can't be bigger than 4. But it is at least 2 because it already sees 2. So it is 3 or 4. Right, so there's a 3-4 pair here. Oh, no, there isn't. There's a 4. Okay, I've got a 4 in row 5 already. So this is 3, this is 4. Now that means this is 1 apparently. So that's not spreading an infection, but this could still spread the infection upwards. So we've still got to be careful. But now, what's this digit? Now, that's got to be a really reasonable question. If this was lower, I mustn't infect this digit. So if this digit is lower than 6, by Sudoku it's 5, and it would infect the 3, which it's not allowed to do. So this digit is higher than 6 and not infected, which means the 2 is also not infected. So both of these are not infected digits. And the 3 means this is infected. Hang on, let me double check that. Yeah, that is infected. So it must be getting an infection from here. Okay, and now, hang on, that's not 5 either. Because the infected digit here is 5. The patient 0 in box 5 is a 5, but it can't be in the same column as another infection. So the 5 is in one of those. Now let me just go back over here. Now, this 4, yeah, that, oh, this is big. This is huge. The 4, oh, this is mighty. This is going to give me a 2-5 here. The 4 says this is infected because I've got 3 there, so that's got to be infected. How did this get infected? Well, I think we've got to be able to trace it back to a patient 0. So this is definitely infected. Now, we know the 3 doesn't infect anything. So this is not infected by the 3. So the thing causing the pollution here is the 6, which means this is lower than 6. It's got infected by the 6, but it's not 1, 3 or 4, so it is 2 or 5. But then so that logic must apply to this cell as well. This has got to be lower than this cell. So if this is 2, this has to be 1, which doesn't work. So this has got to be 5. This has got to be 2. And perhaps the most peculiar thing about this is I don't think if I know if this is actually infected. Because if that's a 4, it would be infected. But it would be infected by this one, not that one. It's really weird. But that is now 7, 8 or 9 by Sudoku. There's a sort of weird 7, 8, 9 triple in box 6. And a slightly interesting point potentially, no jokes about me, parties, thank you, is that there is a 7 on that white dot. And the reason I know that is that every single white dot in this puzzle will have an odd and an even digit on it, because of course the digits, to be consecutive, you're going to have an odd and an even digit. Now the only odd digit that this can have on it, it can't have 1, it can't have 3, it can't have 5, and it can't have 9, so it has got 7 on it. It's either going to be 6, 7 or 7, 8. So that's not 7. And 4, oh, I see. And that, now where's 4? Where's 4 in column 9? It's there. It's the only place it can go, so it is infected because it gets infected by the 5. And that corner digit is 6, 8 or 9 for what that's worth, but that's not infected because the 3 is the only thing that could have infected that, and it's too small to have achieved that objective. Okay. So now... Well, now I don't know again what's going on. I mean, what on earth do we do next? I don't even know really where to look, to be honest. I'm sort of looking at the grid thinking, is it... I mean, how is it obvious where I'm meant to look here? Oh, I see. Do I get the infected? Yeah, okay, so I've got an infected. The patient 0 here was a 3. The patient 0 here was a 1. So that has to be there now. So we get another little contribution to the infection. Now that doesn't convert any of these digits, but I don't think we can therefore assume none of these are green, because they could get infected by this one or this one. But beautiful. Right. I now know actually what that digit is. Because if the 1 in row 2 was on this white dot, what would the white dot contain? It would be a 1-2 pair. And in fact, I've got the 2 up here anyway, but also this cell couldn't exist. So this is a 1. So that 2, this 2 is a lonely, it's not contributing to infection, is what we can say. Because the only way the 2 can contribute to infection is if it's bigger than a 1, and it can't be orthogonally next to a 1 anymore anywhere. So we've got the 2, the 5. Yeah, we've only got the 2 and the 5 to place. That's it. For our patient zeros. So right. This might not be valid, but I'm going to say it and we can talk about it together. Oh no, actually I've chickened out of that. I've spotted something else. There's a 4 on there by Sudoku, and it can't go with 3, so that is a 4-5 pair. Now that's rather cute, because now 5 has to be placed somewhere in column 6, and it can't be there, and it can't be there. So it's there. Okay, and remember, oh no, you see, I want to say that's going to infect this, but it might do. But I suppose that infection could come from over here as well. I mean, if this 5 did infect this digit, this would be a 2 or a 3. I don't know, actually. I'm not sure about that. Oh, bobbins, am I going to have to... Okay, the thought I had up here, I'll tell you what it was, and then we can talk about whether it could be true. I wondered whether this cell had to be not only the infected cell, not only infected, but also patient 0 in box 2. Because I think from this 1, we know one of these cells is infected. And I was wondering how, if that was infected, how it had become infected. Because it can't have been infected by this 1. No, it can't be infected by anything. In fact, if we just stare at the grid from a Sudoku perspective, it's at least a 3. So it must have been infected by a 4. Now, how are we going to achieve that? There's a 5 down here, but any sort of infection that 5 is doing is not going through there, because that is an uninfected domino. So the 5 can spread infection, but it's going to be in sort of this direction and this direction. And because it's the digit 5, it can only infect 4s, 3s, 2s and 1s. This is a 4, so how could that infect this digit, which is at least a 3? We could go 4, 3, and then the 3 could infect a 2. That could have infected the 1. But it can't have infected this cell. So I don't think that cell can have been infected by anything. The 7 is too far away. Because again, you're going to have to step downwards, aren't you? Every time you're in a box, the only way you can propagate the infection is to drop down at least one digit. So we'd go 7, for example, 6, 5. In fact, when you stay in the same column, you've then got to go 4. It just doesn't, yeah, it's just nonsense. So I don't think that is an infected digit. So I think that is infected. And because if the 2 was here, the only way this becomes infected is if it's 1 and it can't be. That is actually also patient 0. And therefore it is the 2. And therefore this is the 5 by Sudoku on patient zeros. I get to say some strange sentences, and that is all. All of the sources of the infection have now been identified. It would sort of be good in this puzzle if we could then eradicate them all, wouldn't it? Or at least contain them. I suppose that's what we're trying to do. We're going to try to contain them. Now, that being a 5 means this is a 5 and this is a 4 by Sudoku. So 4 is in one of those cells. 4 is placed in box 5 by that fair-weathered friend Sudoku. Where's 2 in column 6? It's got to go there. Okay, so this 5 did infect the cell above it. And we've got 3, 6 and 7. Oh, so 3. Oh, nearly. 3 is in one of 2 places in column 6. We've got 3, 6 and 7 to place. That's definitely not 3. And okay, we know these are both green using our colouring. We know that must be, well, no, I think that must be green, because again, to be infected, the infection would have to have spread from over here. It's no way it can. So, okay. Sorry, I'm trying to work out what I'm meant to do now. This dot could have 6 or 8 on it. It needs an even digit. I don't think that's under pressure. Oh, what is under pressure is that white dot. That needs an odd digit on it. And clearly from its row it hasn't got 1, 7 or 9. And from its columns it can't have 5. So there's a 3 on there. So it's 3 with 2 or 4. But definitely a 3. And that can't be a 4. Bobbins. That's really annoying. Okay. Right. It's hard with this puzzle to know that must be green, because otherwise the 1's broken, and we worked out this cell couldn't be infected. These 2 are not infected because of the white dot. Yeah, that's something I should probably do. Label up non-infection, given non-infecteds. Oh, yeah, that's made things much clearer. Sorry. Oh my goodness. So doing that has made me wonder how the path gets to the bottom of the grid, which it's got to do. What's her name? Laura. No, Norma. Norma has to get down to the path down here. And now there seems to be only one mechanism through which... Oh, and now I've broken the puzzle. Oh, careful. Ah, no. Okay, I was thinking about what this was. I was thinking that was a blocker to the path. It's not a blocker. You can go on this. And in fact... Yeah, so this doesn't help me at all. It's not been... I don't want to do that. I mean, it's true that they're not infected, but I can still do this. What I did discover as a result of the error I just made is that you can't go straight down like that, because you can see the path has touched itself here. So if we do go south, we'd have to then go west. So that would be the path. The path would be something like that. But if we go north, then... Yeah, see, I've got to be... Oh, no, we can't... The path can't touch itself, so it would go... Oh, right. That's it. Oh, well, okay. No, it's not it. No, it is. It is. The path can't go north. Oh, no, it can. Sorry, I keep seeing this as a blocker now, and that's just nonsense. But if it did go north... Okay, for another reason it doesn't go north. If it does go north, bear with me here, because I am getting myself confused and into a pickle. But if it goes north, I think it has to do this. Now, how do we achieve 5 nasty cells in this region of the grid? This is definitely not nasty. It might not be on the path, but it's definitely not nasty. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 as a maximum, and that is a 5, so it doesn't go up. So it does go down. And now we just worked out it couldn't go south again because the path would touch itself, so it then goes west. And now the path here can't go up because we get a horrible 2 by 2 of touching ourselves. So it must go there, and now again that would create a 2 by 2. So the path is, we have worked out how Norma gets to the hospital. We have done it now, but what we haven't done by any manner or means is worked out how to do the infection. So now this 5 has only got a count of 2, so all 3 of those are infected. How on earth? Oh, right. This is beautiful. How on earth are those 3 infected? They are infected because of the count on this microscope. How is that achievable? The only thing that can infect them, this 5 can't get up there. It's got to go through uninfected cells. The only thing that can infect them is the 4, and the 4 can only infect them if it goes 3, 2, 1. Nothing else will work. That is very clever. Not of me, I hasten to add. I've been so slow in seeing some of this. Right, 1 is now in one of 2 places here. This cell cannot be infected because it would have been infected by a 1, which is an impossibility according to the rules. Right, so I've got a 7, 8, 9 triple in row 4. So this digit is 6, 7, 8 or 9. This digit is higher than the infected 5, so that's a 6, 7, 8 or 9. Now this digit, by being left out of the other possibilities, seems to have become a 3. And I've got a 3 pencil marked in one of those. I don't know why. Oh, that was from this column. Okay, no, that's fair enough, isn't it? So 3 is in one of those 3. And this is also 6, 7, 8, 9. Right, so that means this digit's now Sudokuable. That's a 1 and has been a 1 forever. Right, 1. Oh, 1 is surely quite difficult to put there, because that means it mustn't see an infected cell. Is that 7 going to infect something? Not sure. Well, although yeah, it's probably okay. Wait a minute. No, there's a problem here. There's a problem here. This digit, what is it? The answer is I've literally got no Scooby-Doo. But the only thing I can say about it is that it's positive. And admittedly that is a very, very poor, that's a very poor restriction. So I could literally put every single digit into this apart from those that from a Sudoku perspective it can't be. But that means that in this 3 by 3 it must see a green cell. Now here's the question. This 4, it could infect that, but this is an uninfected cell by Kropke logic. Can that be infected? Well, if it's infected, it's not a 1 or a 2, so it's at least a 3, which means this is at least a 4 to be infecting it. But it can't be a 4. So what's infected this? Maybe this cell could have done. I haven't thought that through. Yeah, if this was a big old digit, then the infection could spread that way. And maybe that's what has to happen. I don't know, is the short answer. How do we do this? I don't know. Or, here's a different question. What is the microscopic value of this cell? Which at the moment... Well, the value of this, it could only be a maximum of 4, which it can't be. And it can't be a 1, so it's 2 or 3, and it's the same as the digit beneath it. So this is a 2-3 pair. So that is a 6, 7 or 8 now. I'm just going to quickly pencil in some thingies. So this is a 2-3 pair. Now how does that work in the context of... Well, I tell you what it does mean. It means this cell cannot be infected, because if it was infected, it would have infected the digit on the path below it. So that is a green cell. And now this is definitely green because it can't be infected. And now I want to go back over here and note again that this was positive. How has it got... How does it see anything? This must be infected. I'm not sure about this one, but this is a 1 or a 2, I'm going to claim. It can't be more than 2. This... To be infected, this is lower than 7. The 7 is what must have infected this digit. So this digit is a maximum of 6. So let's just put that in. 6, 5, 3, 2. Now. And whatever it is, it must be lower than that digit. So, but that's infected. So if this was a 1, it would have infected it, and the path couldn't exist. This is really, it's very clever, but very intricate, and really easy to miss things. Now this is a 1, so this is now not infected. So that's now green, which means, well, it's probably hard for this to be a 6, but I don't think it's impossible. Okay, it's going to be some trick with these microscopes, isn't it? That's going to get me all the way home, I think. That digit by Sudoku is that digit, because it's got to go somewhere in this box. Now, is that useful? Probably not. So I have built the path. There's going to be some way of knowing what this digit is. I don't know what that is. It's probably a lot of Sudoku I could do if I actually focused on that. Yeah. Oh, actually, where's 5 in box 3? That's a very, very good question. I think it's there. That's the only place it can go. So 5's in one of 2 places in box 1 and 2 places in box thingy, the technical term for this box here, box 9. 2, 3, 4. These are huge digits. 6, 7, 8, 9s again. That isn't 9. So, right, where's... No, actually that might not be a good question, I'm not sure. I have to put 4 in one of those cells. Now if I did put it here, can you see from the column that this would be a bigger digit? It would, wouldn't it? It would be a 6, 7, 8 or 9. Well, actually that can't be 9, I'm now seeing. But it would be a 6, 7 or 8, and it would have infected this digit. So the 4 must be here. And you think that's going to do something, but it doesn't. No, I don't think it does do anything, or not very much anyway. So this digit is now 6, 7 or 8. Now, okay, it's a similar thing I think in column 8. I've got to put 2 and 3 in. Now, if this digit here was 2 or 3, this would be a 5 and would beat it, and that would have infected this digit. So the 2-3 pair is here. The 5 is shunted downwards. So the 5 is now in one of 2 places in box 7. That's not 7, because 7 is definitely on this white dot. So this is 6 or 8. This had 3 on it, didn't it, if I remember rightly? But we didn't know which of the cells was the 3. And there's 4s, 6s and 8s. Oh no, I don't think I know the order. Let's think this through. This 3 is a naughty. It's been infected by the 5 that's next to it, so that must be green. Now, does that infect? No, that can't be 1 or 2. But could it be 4? Yeah, this could be an infected 4. So maybe it's this digit. Oh, yeah, that's it. That's it. That's exactly what it is. Look at this. This digit is a 2 or a 3 by Sudoku. And at the moment in that 3 by 3, I've only got 1 infected cell. So that is infected. This is a 2. This is 3. Okay, that does 2 and 3 over there. So this cell is not 2 or 3 now, so it's bigger than I was expecting. So it's got to be a bit careful about infecting these 2 cells. This is not an 8. These are 4, 6 and 7. Now, if this was a 7, it would have infected this digit, which it's now not allowed to do. I can't remember why I thought this digit wasn't able to be infected. Can anybody? I'm sure it was logical at the time, I just can't remember why it was. Oh yeah, if that was infected, it would have infected this. Yeah, that's fine. That is good logic. Okay. It's a fascinating rule set, this. I think it's got legs. You could create more puzzles using this sort of idea, I think. I'm not sure. It's probably very difficult to construct because of the way you have to keep track of how the infections grow, but it's got very deep logic to it. Oh, here's a little point. That's a 6 or a 7 apparently, so this can't be a 6, 7 on this dot. So that is not a 6. So now there is definitely an 8 on it. There's a point. Is that going to work for anything? It means 8's... Oh, it doesn't do anything. It means that's not an 8. Oh dear. Okay, that wasn't brilliant. Okay. So how did this get infected? It must have been infected by the 5. So it must be a 4. And that means this is a 4 by Sudoku. And that is a 2 by Sudoku. That's a rogue 2, isn't it? So that's a 2 by Sudoku. So that's a little bit of extra. Right, so let's double click digits. We've got all our 1s. I think we've got all the 2s. It's a little bit hard to see, but I think so. 3s. We certainly know quite a lot about 3s, but there's a 3 in one of 2 places in box 7. And it doesn't look like we know quite enough about 3. Oh, 3's only got 2 places in box 1. 4s, they are done. 5s, they are not done. 6, 6. It's the high digits now. Even though the high digits were really useful for building the infection, they are not going to help me much from a Sudoku perspective because I've got so few of them in the grid. This can't be an 8-9 pair because that would break this digit. So it doesn't have 9 on it. So its odd digit is now a 7, which means this is not a 7. Oh, I know, actually, I know where the 7 goes, so that's a 7. Okay, that's something. So 7 is now in one of 2 places in box 1. And that might do something, but I don't know what. Oh yeah, I'll tell you what I was going to think about, and that's that this digit mustn't infect either of these 2 cells. So, these 2 cells are bigger than 5. They might have to be 6 as well, but they're definitely bigger than 5. Yeah, so that can't be... Oh, I see, so that does the 5. So that's 5. Just where's this 5 go in this box? That's 5. Now they have to be 5 only, so that can't be 3. That would definitely not work. So that's 3, that's 3. No 3s in the corner today, I'm afraid. So these are 6, 8s and 9s is what they are. That's not 9. That's not 8. Oh, where? In fact, where is 8? Yeah, where's 8 in this box? It's got to go there. 8, 6, 9, 8, 9. This could be good. Oh no, it's going to peter out. That's annoying. I thought we were suddenly going to get a flurry then. This is a 6 or a 9. So this is a 9-6 pair. We've done very well, actually, out of nowhere in column 1, didn't we? We got a flurry of activity. 8 is in one of these 2. 7 is in one of these 2. That 7 is still doing some work. 6 here, 7 here, 7 here. This digit's now 8. That's 6. Yeah, that's good. This is still going. Yeah, it is still going. That's 8. That's 7. That's 8. So we know this is 7 or 9. But this is not 7. This is not 7. This is not 7 or 8 due to this 8 here. 6, 9 pair in the column makes that the 8. Yeah, probably I should have chased the 8s round. And these digits are 6, 7, 9. Okay, that's probably doable in some way. That's not 7. So there's a 6, 9 pair. That's very good. So that's 7. This is not 7. 6, 9. This is a 3. That is a 7 or a 9, which is interesting, because now this digit has to be 6. So that's 7, that's 9, that's 6, that's 9, that's 9, that's 6, that's 7. Okay, that's... Oh, yeah, that's C's 6 and 9. So that's 7, that's 6, that's 9. That's 9, that's 6. And there we go. Now, I don't think I can be certain this is correct, though. Because I've got to check. You see, that's infected. That's infected by the 7, so that would have been an error if I'd left it alone like that. All the infections have to not be capable of spreading. So let's just check. I think that's probably correct then. I think all of these are therefore what I'll call my lime green colour. Oh, there's an insect flying at me. There is. It's landed on me. Go away. Let's see if it's right. Oh my goodness. It is right. There's a lot of stuff here. Boss. Great job, Dr. Dokes. There seems to be more activity in the southeast corner than in the rest of the village. But all infections were caught in their early tracks. Let's check if the juicy brains in pathology agree. Dr. Dokes. Juicy brains? Boss? Yes, with everything they've uncovered, they've given us a lot to chew on. Now, come, let me pick your brain about this. To be continued. Okay. That's fantastic. What a great puzzle. That's really, really entertaining and it's a very cool rule set to work with. And you've got to be very careful about how these things spread. A revolting subject. Anyways, Maverick does another flyover. Do let me know in the comments how you got on with the puzzle. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.